There are some things I really dare not tell you. I'm afraid that after I tell you, you'll be afraid to start the catering business. There are nearly 1,000 restaurants in the whole Pearl River Delta. I estimate that they will enter the countdown to closure in the second half of the year. What I, Monkey Brother, said is not alarmist, because in the past month, the number of large restaurants that have asked us to come and quote for collecting their facilities is approximately 70 to 80. This is the sum of the number who asked for quotes in the first half of this year. This is a scene I saw in the streets of Shenzhen, Guangdong province. They all came to Shenzhen with dreams, but they didn't expect to become line-flat masters in the end. Seeing this scene, my heart is hard to calm down. This is Shenzhen, South China City #1 Trading Plaza. At least $140,000 is gone here, and at least $280,000 is gone here. Thousands of shops in the entire mall, hundreds of millions of dollars have just gone down the drain. Once, this place was crowded by thousands of people, and they had to pay for tips to buy in the shops here. Now, the whole mall is full of green leaves. It was said that running one shop could support 3 generations, but now look at the leading shops like these, which can't be rented out. Recently, a saying has circulated on the internet in mainland China that Shenzhen, a first-tier city in Guangdong, is like Beijing, and is entirely unsuitable for normal people to live in. The sense of happiness is very low. The city, existing only for workers and never supporting idle people, is like a huge, bright, and beautiful prison built on the seaside, with several scenic parks next to it so that the inmates can come out to relax and live. Many people are curious about why, as one of the most prosperous and developed coastal cities in China, Shenzhen evokes such a negative feeling. In today's episode, let's take a look at what happened in this city. But before we do, we would like to invite you to subscribe. Your support is our greatest motivation and allows us to bring you more valuable content. Now, moving on. Today marks the day of a 4-year, 10-month period during which I've been living in a rented place without telling my parents. That's 1,511 days. Many netizens ask me how I make a living. My secret is to keep my consumption very low. The room I rent is the most remote and cheapest one. I rarely order takeout, I cook by myself. When I buy vegetables through group buying, after comparing the prices, I purchase the cheapest ones. Otherwise, I buy them before the market to get the discounted ones. When I have no money, I will pick vegetable leaves to eat. The house has air conditioning, but it's never used throughout the year. I don't take hot showers from April to November. The phone card package is $1. No one calls me, and I don't have anyone to contact. Comrades, this is the overpass of Tianqiao East Station, Shenzhen. Do you see the homeless people? There are men and women with luggage. Men and women, you see, they all come here. This is Shenzhen. You can see this scene. Some elderly people look like artists. I won't disturb them. There are also musicians. Their clothes are drying here. Here is Longgong District. I am standing on the overpass next to the Sanhe Talent Market, looking down, and all the day laborers are lying on the ground. They can't even afford to rent a bed for $2 a night, so they can only lie on the steps casually. You see, this is Shenzhen. You'll be shocked to hear about the current situation in Shenzhen. It's said that millions of people from other places have flocked to Shenzhen shortly after Labor Day. Now, the subway stations in Shenzhen are very crowded, and the labor market is almost overwhelmed by those job seekers. Many people mistakenly think that this is prosperity, but the fact is that large companies are laying off employees, small companies are closing down, houses cannot be rented out, and many people staying in hotels cannot find jobs. What are the shops that cost more than $80,000 per square meter like now? Let's visit the Cultural Plaza of the Southern Science and Technology Park today. At its peak, the rent here could reach more than 28 million a month, and there were CBD technology headquarter buildings nearby. However, now one is empty, two are empty, and the entire row is empty. They can't be rented out at all. This place has become a place for leisure walks.
出去，这里呢都已经成了休闲散步的地方了。
其实我到今天我才知道，就业真的非常的困难。
In fact, I just realized today that it's really difficult to find a job. I was fired by the company I worked for 2 years today. I am really anxious. I have not been able to sleep for a week. I stay up until 2 or 3 in the morning every day. I can only fall asleep when I'm very sleepy. I think this kind of anxiety is not something that ordinary people can understand, because for people like us who have low education and no family background, we can get something only by working hard and making efforts. What can we do in such market conditions?
努力才能够达到的结果，你让我们怎么办呢？
朋友问我还找工作。
My friend asked me if I was still looking for a job. I just wanted to find a good day and leave. I can't tell whether my life is too hard or if the job is too hard to find. I am really convinced.
我真服了。
The Chinese Communist Party has implemented a strict household registration system. In big cities such as Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen, migrant workers often call themselves drifters in Beijing, drifters in Shanghai, or drifters in Shenzhen. Over the past 30 years, this large group of people has played a significant role in promoting the development of these major cities. But today, with the economy in decline, they are the generation abandoned by these cities.
是的，我被裁员了。
Yes, I was laid off. I've been drifting in Shenzhen for 10 years. My child was just born and is not even a month old, and I received a layoff notice from my boss. On the day of the layoff, HR used phrases like, for organizational restructuring to dismiss my 10 years of hard work and effort so easily. In the past 4 months of unemployment, I sent out more than 500 resumes, but only a few responded.
500多份简历，然后回复的寥寥无几。
Local people have observed 10 unusual phenomena in Shenzhen this year, which are associated with the issue that many migrant workers have not returned to Shenzhen since the Chinese New Year. First, Shenzhen's commercial districts, which were once very lively, have now become deserted. It used to be hard to find a shop, but now many brands have withdrawn, leaving more empty shops. It's becoming increasingly difficult to conduct physical business. Even if the store's rents are reduced, they remain challenging to rent out. Second, all districts in Shenzhen are repairing roads and subways are undergoing engineering renewal projects one after another. Traffic jams during rush hour have become commonplace, and everyone is now complaining about it on WeChat moments. Third, Shenzhen's housing prices were once unattainable, but they are now beginning to loosen up. Now properties are being discounted and promoted, and the number of resale houses listed has increased sharply. Many people are waiting and watching because housing prices are going down every day, and buyers and sellers are very cautious. Fourth, Shenzhen's office buildings are also empty, and many companies have moved out of the office buildings. Now it's becoming popular to share offices. That is, several companies live in a small office together. Fifth, there were fewer and fewer jobs in Shenzhen, and it's even more difficult to find a job with 2 days off a week, offering 5 insurances and 1 housing fund. It's already very fortunate to have 1 day off a week. Now, many fresh graduates can't find jobs, many companies are still laying off employees and cutting salaries, and everyone is tightening their belts. Sixth, the delivery guys on the road are all rushing around without looking at traffic lights. Now female drivers are also joining the food delivery industry, but the overall order volume is decreasing, and their income has also decreased. Netizens all said that they felt Shenzhen had changed a lot in the past few years, but they didn't know what caused it.
去年全国失业率5%。
The national unemployment rate was 5.1% last year, which seems not high, but such a rate is based on counting the flexible employment people in. 1 in every 20 people is looking for a job. For example, what are those middle-aged programmers, real estate salesmen, and teachers who were laid off doing now? I think unemployed people often have just 2 options. One is to deliver food, and the other is to drive for Didi, because these things are almost zero threshold things and you can earn money every day. If you drive Didi, you can do it with a driver's license and rent a car. If you deliver food, you can do it with an electric bike. According to data, 30% of Guangzhou riders are undergraduates.
骑手啊，30%都是本科生。 你敢相信吗？这里是位于深圳最核心的。
Can you believe it? This shopping mall is located in the core area of Shenzhen, adjacent to Mixi and Nanshan district. Many physical stores in this area have been closed. It's very difficult to do business now. This mall now has some shops that can be moved in by only paying property fees. The location is really good. I hope the economy can get better quickly. Come on, everyone.
大家加油！
1800多万人口的深圳
Shenzhen has a population of more than 18 million, but the streets are deserted and the shops are empty. Where have all the people gone? Can't we see them? Have you noticed that people running takeout and online car-hailing services on the streets have become increasingly visible over the past 2 years, and some have even become saturated? There is a situation of too many people and too little food. Many physical stores have closed down. The population is increasing, but the flow of people on the streets is decreasing. This is because half of the people now watch short videos at home, and the other half work overtime in office buildings. In Shenzhen today, it's already very difficult to find a job that pays on time. How can anyone go
一
shopping?
份按时发工资的工作就已经很不容易了，哪有什么人去逛街呀？
终于店里就剩我一个人了。
Finally, I am the only one left in the restaurant. I had dinner with the aunts yesterday, and then I told them that they didn't need to come today. It was hard to say goodbye. It took me a long time to say it. I said goodbye. That is, the beef offal pot of golden cow was saying goodbye. Let me take you to take a closer look at my restaurant, which can be regarded as a memory. This is my first floor, and this is the second floor. The chairs on the second floor have been moved away.
我的1楼，这也是2楼，2楼的椅子已经搬掉了。一夜之间，天都塌了。
The sky fell overnight. Do you know how badly Shenzhen's housing prices have fallen? Do you know how severe the decline in Shenzhen's housing prices has been? A 215 square meter condo has fallen by nearly 1.4 million in 3 years. The housing price has fallen back to 8 years ago. Can you believe it?
你敢相信吗？
现在深圳关外这里的话，
Now, Shenzhen is in a state of depression outside the customs. In Guangdong district, there are few pedestrians on this road and not many vehicles. This is Longong, Yiwu Commodity City.
太多。这个是龙岗义乌商品城这里。
决定了，不干了。
I have decided to quit, sell the equipment, close the factory, and never touch manufacturing again. I initially thought that things would get better after 2023, 2024, and 2025, but I can't see any hope since the beginning of the year. The above is what a female factory boss in Shenzhen says.
老板娘这样说。
深圳制作一线城市，现在冷清到连快餐店的生意都凉透了。
Shenzhen, a first-tier city, is now so deserted that even the fast food business has gone cold. I have run a fast food restaurant in the urban village for over 8 years. Yesterday, the turnover was around $120, and today it's dropped directly to around $70. It's getting worse day by day. I feel that I can't bear it. I spent $110,000 to buy this store. At that time, there were few competitors around, and the rent was not expensive. Every mealtime, the restaurant was very busy, and the business was still doing quite well. Although it was a bit hard and tiring, I felt at ease. At 12 o'clock noon today, it should have been the busiest time, but there were very few people in the restaurant, and the number of customers is also low. Now, this street in the urban village is full of restaurants, and there are more stores than customers.
这个城中村一条街都是做餐饮的，店比人还多。
In the past 2 years, China's overall economy has been declining, and Guangdong province is now facing an embarrassing problem. There is a gap in the economic development of the entire province. It's said that the per capita GDP of Meizhou City in Guangdong province is less than $5,600, which is half of the national per capita GDP. Many small places in the province are still impoverished, and neither the per capita income nor the economy can reach the level of developed cities. Some netizens predict that in the next 3 months, many physical bosses in Guangdong will probably not survive this summer. If you're a boss, whether you're in the catering business, run a factory, or make clothing, you will most likely go bankrupt this summer. If you are currently a worker, it should be difficult for you to find a job in the coming months.
谁知道这怎么回事啊？
Who knows what's going on? It's so weird. Did Guangzhou's 20 million people suddenly stop eating? Look at the catering business. I come out at noon and there was no one in the restaurant. I thought everyone went home to work, but the vegetable vendors in the vegetable market couldn't sell their vegetables. They said everyone went to order takeout. The takeout guy also said, with a pained face, the order volume has collapsed. Some people speculated that it was because people in first-tier cities have returned to their hometowns, but others now say that such a conclusion is fooling fools. What I am shooting in the mall is a ghost movie. What's even more confusing is that this phenomenon is happening in all cities across the country, from north to south, from Hangzhou to Chengdu. Where have all the people gone? Or don't people need to eat now?
人都去哪儿了？还是现在人都不吃饭了？
All the restaurant owners, I'm withdrawing first. Sorry, I can't hold on. It's June 15th, 2025. My store will be taken away by others tomorrow. Let's make a video to commemorate it. I want to keep going like you, but I don't have enough money and energy. Every day I'm like you, thinking that business will be better tomorrow, but I found that I was wrong.
一定会好一些，但是我发现是我错了。
现在经济形势到底有
How bad is the current economic situation? My mother, a full-time housewife in the countryside who graduated from elementary school and is oblivious to the outside world, told me today that the current economic situation is so bad, you must now leave the workplace casually. Mom, you may not know that your son has no place to work at all now, because I am the place.
有潮啊，因为我就是潮。
倒了一家店，难怪我们现在生意不好做。
Another store closed down. No wonder your business of selling equipment is not good now. We went to see a site and found that another store had closed down. The body shop has a sign saying Benz, BMW, and Audi body shop chain. We wanted to see it close down. Normally, there are very few stores like ours that are professionally involved in the car repair industry. Since it closed down not long after it opened, we took a look inside. The whole floor was covered with floor grills. Is this a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz repair store? I think it looks like a car wash, but its sign says Benz and BMW body shop.
是吧？但它的招牌是打着奔驰、宝马装修哦。
It seems that Shenzhen is no longer the international city full of dreams in the eyes of Chinese migrant workers. Today, Shenzhen has become a trapped city with high prices, high pressure, high unemployment, low hope, low income, and low sense of security. From the outside, it may look bright and beautiful, but inside, it's already desolate. The only thing the Chinese Communist Party government can do to the people is to order, no complaints, let alone telling the truth. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.